the steps we have followed throughout our project. The first step is registering the data on the Azure ML Studio. Once we register the data, we go to the Azure automated ML service and we run an experiment on the dataset. The automated machine learning experiment once it gets completed, we can analyze it and we can see which is the best model and the accuracy score as well. So here voting in symbol is the best model on the data, giving an accuracy of 92%. Now we need to deploy the model. To deploy the model, we give it a name, we give it a description, and we choose Azure Container Instance as the compute type, and also don't forget to enable authentication. Then we click on deploy and the model gets deployed. After deployment, you can see the state of the model. The deployment state healthy means that the model is running fine, and the compute type is ACI, which means Azure Container Instance. Scrolling down, you can see the REST endpoint of the model, and since I have enabled authentication, it is showing true here. You can also see Swagger URI, which can be used, and now the application inside is not enabled, but we will enable it using logs.py. So we will run logs.py in the terminal. It also enables the insight as well as gives the logs of the model that we have deployed. Now you can see once we ran the logs.py file, the application insights has been enabled. It is showing true, and we also get the insights URL. Moving further, now we will work on Swagger, which is a documentation tool for API. We are given a folder having serve.py and swagger.sh file. We will run both the files, and it will host Swagger documentation tool on the local host. You can also change the port number if your port is busy. So it will be something like this. It is hosting on port number 9000, and these are the files that are present in the directory. When you go to localhost, you see Swagger tool homepage. This is the homepage of the Swagger. This is the default. This is the overview of your model. It will show your model name, the API methods, get and post, and your service input payload, and your responses as well. So this is a zoomed view of the service input payload. You can see the data. How you can contact with the data, and this is the request form that has been processed, and the object also. The codes are also given here, and the default value is also given. This is the endpoint.py file. Here you have to write the scoring URI that is available on the REST API endpoint, and this is the key because you have enabled authentication. So you have to set the key, and you form the data here to send it to the model using post method. You send the data to the model using the post method and receive a response. When you run the file endpoint.py file on the shell terminal, you get a result based on the data you have sent. Here I have got no and no. The next step is publishing a pipeline. So I have run the pipeline through Python Azure SDK, Jupyter Notebook, and it is showing status of running now. Once it is completely published, you can see the endpoint of the pipeline. Here you can see the status as well of the pipeline, and it is running on the AutoML module using the brand marketing dataset. Now you can see the status is active, and here you can see the REST endpoint as well. And this is the run details widget, which gives the logs of the your model, your pipeline. And now you can see both the pipelines.